Welcome to Forged in the Fires podcast with Fireman Rob. Being a fireman, father, veteran, husband, world record holder, and Ironman, he brings stories of experience to impact your life while challenging you to live it. What do you want from your life? Why do you want it? Are you willing to go through the challenges to get there? If you have the courage to take that first step, let this podcast be the catalyst to start your fire, while you bring the resilience to make it continue to burn. Our lives are made up of moments called right nows. So let's get started. Forged in the Fires podcast with your host, Fireman Rob, begins now.
Welcome back to Forged in the Fires podcast. I'm your host, Fireman Rob. Today we've got another great episode from In the Zone with Fireman Rob that's on Endurance Zone TV. If you haven't checked it out, go to endurancezonetv.com. There's great content. There's great discounts. That's a great place to be. Today's guest is Morgon Latimore. If you haven't heard of him yet, you will be following him after this show is done with his energy, his positivity, and his great story. Take a listen. All right, welcome back to In the Zone with Fireman Rob, brought to you by Endurance Zone TV. If you have not subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. There's so much stuff when you become a member to be able to watch. You're going to have great In the Zone interviews, and the guy that's going to be on in a few seconds, you're going to be able to see his show too. There's so much to do. If you want to go on Facebook and Instagram and follow us to find out what we're doing, it's Endurance Zone TV. So today's guest, this gentleman was in the Marines. He is a triathlete, a coach. He is the people's coach. Morgon Latimore, how are you doing today?
I am doing outstanding, right? It's great, man. It's great to be on here with someone that's just as much energy as I have, so I can feed off of you.
I love it. I watch your Instagram. Now, give me what your Instagram handle is.
Coach Morgon Latimore.
If you haven't gone on that yet, if you haven't followed him, and you feel like every day is Monday, you need to follow him because he dances in his car. He sings in his car, and then he gives you motivation. Morgon, where did that come from?
I don't know, actually. You're the first person that ever asked me that. I was in the car one day, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to bust a move, right? And I just played it, I said this, because you're always looking for different content, right? Like how you keep people excited, and you dance, man. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to dance today. And people said, oh, I love that. So I did it twice, and then you get hooked in when people's like, oh, I expect that every day. And I was like, oh, man, I got to do it every day now. And so I did it. I do it every Friday, and like people are waiting for it. So I feel obligated.
How do you choose your songs?
Oh, that's a hard one. So
right.
I've done a couple of things, but the main one is there's a station I'm in North Carolina, so 93.3. It's oh my God, what is the name of it? It's the Weekend Blast Off. And they play like this at 7:30 on Fridays. They play this weekend, but this mix of music. And like if I'm driving, so I usually just be driving. I have my camera ready, and then as soon as the song come out, it's Ace and TJ show. That's where it is, Ace and TJ. And I'm driving, and the song comes on. So, oh, it's this one. I pull to the parking lot, put it in the park, take it up, and just for 60 seconds. But now I just bought a new car, so I have Siri radio, so I can do it wherever I want now.
There it is. You got it.
I got a whole bunch of channels to choose from, and it's good, man.
So now it's going to be Morgon on demand, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I like that. I might have to keep Siri. I usually don't pay for it afterwards, but I like just to be able to be. And it was hard because I had one time on Facebook where they were like flagging me for copyright issues. I said, I'm not selling nothing, man. I ain't selling nothing. I'm just excited, and they approved it. And it was like 2 weeks later, they said, oh, you good to go? I was like, oh, thank you, good, because people's gonna go crazy without they
dancing Morgon.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna do a project. I'm gonna do a series of 7 days. 1 week I'm just gonna do 7 days of dancing. It won't be me. I'm gonna use people that follow me, and I'm just gonna put it on the other coaches. If you want to dance, you can get in there too.
I don't know if you want to lose subscribers. It could be really bad for your whole following.
Oh man, no, they love it. The crazier it is, the better it is, man. If you get the good song, you get the songs that get you moving and grooving. I was listening to Invo today.
Oof.
It's always something good.
Now let's go back in time with you because you were a Marine, and what
Mhm.
was it like to serve your country? What did you do? What did that feel like?
Well, I am a Marine.
Oh,
I still serve. I'm active duty.
see, now that's
Most people
even
don't know
better.
that.
Now that's even better.
Most people don't know that. Most people like, oh, you retired? No, I just came from work. I just took off my uniform, put on my hat, put on my t-shirt, and I sat down. Like I literally just got out the car. And I've been a Marine. What's going on? 22 years. I'm 23 by the time I
Wow.
leave. Mass Sergeant of the Marines. I run the paralegal. I'm a head paralegal for the law office at a base installation in North Carolina. And yeah, man, I didn't want to be a bum, so I left. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to be a bum, and so I was like, let's go to the Marine Corps. I need some structure in my life. I was a hoodlum, and I ain't no hoodlum no more. I deal with hoodlums. So, uh, but yeah, it was just something to like put some structure in my life. I come from like a rocky background, low poverty area, and not going to school, disciplinary issues and things like that. And I was like, I want to go to the best of the best, and I picked the Marine Corps, and the rest is history, man. I've been changing lives and molding leaders for 22 years,
Wow. What was
and
that?
still
What was that
doing it.
mindset when you started? Because you're a young kid with, when I went into the Air Force, not as hard as the Marines. I know you're already going to tell me. But when you took that step, because I knew a lot of guys that when I went through boot camp that were young, that were coming out of impoverished, or they're having challenges in their life, and they chose to do something like this, where you're really providing the freedom for the citizens of the United States. What was that decision like?
Well, what I always tell people, like when they ask me, or I ask a Marine, like, when did you become a Marine? The first thing that you would normally say is boot camp, right? That's when I earned the title, right, the Marine, right? But I didn't become a Marine probably to like 10 years in, where I really started to focus on the intent of the Corps and the intent of the people and what my role was in that, right? I was too immature to understand that. I just know I wanted to get away, and it was through a lot of, we call it indoctrination, we'll put it that way, where I actually fixed myself because I was still being rebellious when I first joined. I still had little hood in me, and I had people, mentors, and senior officers and senior enlisted members that helped me like see like you can't be this way if you want to be somebody, right? And so that's when I started to shift it and started to focus on leading Marines and focusing on the people. And then again, it did nothing but positive things. It's kind of the reason why I'm the people's coach today. When I stopped worrying about myself in the Marine Corps, I started worrying about my juniors and my peers and my seniors in a way where I could nourish them with knowledge and physical fitness. I really started to make a large impact. And then that's kind of how I got into coaching. Because I was like, man, I want to keep doing this even when I leave. So I was like, coaching, it's fitness, and I can do the same thing, right? And so that's the great thing about me being a coach. I don't have to really focus on the physical all the time. I can focus on the mental and the emotional because those pillars are very important, all three.
Now, I love that, because what does it feel like for you now to be that role model, that really you took the role of, you went in, you made the choice, you had role models that help you to be who you are, and now you're giving that back. I mean, to me, that's the most honorable
Surreal,
thing you
man.
can do.
Yeah, it's
What?
surreal. Like I like the people, and I'm doing this trying to be the best version of me. I'm not doing it for like recognition, and I like when people are happy that I help make them or help them be better or whatever it is. Like I love that part. That's like the fruits of my labor. But like, um, it's like surreal, man. I still don't believe it. And you hear people say I get emails or text messages or messaging where they told you changed my life. I'll follow you every day. And I'm not, and I ain't no big time guy. Like I'm not, I call myself like a Z-lister. Like I'm at the bottom of the list, right? But like, but it doesn't matter because like but first, like again, I was focused on like really, man, really trying to change the masses,
Right.
right? And then it was just overwhelming. It was too much. It was just too much. And so what I decided to do is like instead of when I talk, like even when I do a video, and you might understand this, like I just talk to a person, and that person may not even be in the crowd. If I'm giving you a talk about self-esteem, who is the person that I can channel to, right? It's the last day on earth, and if they don't make this change, like how do I need to give it to them raw, right? And so I look at that person, and sometimes that person it may be me.
That's what I was going to say.
Right?
The number of times that you talk to yourself, right?
Yep, and you just give it from the heart. And when I notice when you focus on that, it's a pure form of emotion and energy that people actually feed off of. When you're doing it for the wrong reasons, it's like no one gets anything out of it. It's almost like they can see right through you. So I just focus on one person, man, and try to do my best to change the world one person at a time, and it's working. I'm going to be talking to you right now if it wasn't, right? And so I just keep pushing, keep trying to figure out how to grow, how to reach more people, and do my best, man.
Talking about reaching more people, you're going to be having a show on Endurance Zone TV. We're so honored and happy to have you on. Tell me a little bit more what people can expect.
So positive endurance.
Make them come.
I'm gonna tell them. No, I give them a brief understanding. But if you know me, that I'm gonna give you positivity, right? And the show is called, as we discussed, right, positive endurance, right? And that's something that I'm gonna say we came up together. I had the idea. You was like, yeah, this sounds great. And Derek said it sounded great. And I was like, it sounds great to me too. Let's use that one, right? And because it's about I'm an endurance athlete that gives positivity. And I don't only want to give it to you, I want you to know that you possess it, right? And so it's like the show is like, no matter how hard things get, COVID, the riots, whatever's going on, that you can positively endure through life, right? Endurance doesn't always have to be a negative thing, because endurance is not a negative thing because we do it every day, right? We endure a lot of hardships, but like there's always positives from it. There's growth from it. And I want to be able to teach that, teach things about ownership, teach things about vulnerability, teach people about feeling alone versus being lonely, like these different things that we talk about, but we don't understand like how we can get the positive from it. And people don't even think we can get positive from this time of COVID, but we getting it, man. People are spending more time with their kids, right? People are rethinking their life. I had an athlete the other day, she told me, she's like, I have a job and everything, but what happened is I was spending more time with my family, and I realized I want to spend more time with my family, right? So that simple. That's positive endurance, and that's a shocker to some people. And so showing them that it's okay to, I'll say it, let go of triathlon, let go of multi-sports, like, you know what I mean? Because if it's not genuinely who you are, then you got to stop doing it. And I'll be a hypocrite to say like, no, you got to push through, but that ain't real, because that's not what you need. And so it's just, that's what the show is all about, is giving people that give them the tools that they possess, but showing them where they are. That's it.
I love it, because the biggest part that I always saw, and when I raced, I'm not the prototypical triathlete, and you're not either, because we fit most of the frame up in our interview.
For sure, man.
Yeah, it's like we go into the aid station, and they're like, yeah, can you move this bike station? We need
right.
They're not used to having bigger people, so it's one of those things where the mental side of the endurance sports is huge, and you mentioned that. Give us a little taste of, what is it that you give to your clients to be able to find that success in maybe something that they never thought they could do?
Well, I mean, what I've been, which is crazy, like, because I was doing it for my clients at first, but now I do it for a lot of other people. I have, got my book coming out. I got a new group on Facebook, so I've kind of shifted a little bit to get more into the mental and emotional side, because people have been asking for it, right? That we want to know how to work through it, because my athletes my athletes are still rocking it right now, right? Because and some of them are struggling. Like I struggle. I'm not gonna sit there and tell you like there are days I'm like, man, I wish I could go hang out with people or do whatever,
Yeah.
But it's how fast you cope with that, right? What is your why? What is your purpose? So what I do is I help people unpack what their why is. Because most people, I ask you, oh, why do you do it? Why do you race? Oh, I race to set an example. I race because I love the endorphins. I race because it's hard. That's not it. There's an emotional connection. And I'll give you an example. When people race for the first time, that euphoria that they feel at that finish line is hard to repeat, right? But if you really look deeper into it, it is what's structured around it is a whole lot of passion, a whole lot of emotion that went through training, the doubt before, the doubt during, and them overcoming that.
Yep.
And people try to go back and relive that, but they forgot all that, right? So they keep trying to do race after race after race, trying to find it. And you hear some of these people say, well, I don't have that that energy or motivation to keep going to do these races. I'm like, because they've lost the root of why they started in the first place. And a lot of people, almost most of the people that I talk to, it's the emotional connection with who they are, who they've been since childhood, or who they wanted to be that they couldn't be, right? They say, oh, it's hard. Well, maybe in childhood they might have been told that they couldn't accomplish it, right? And we look at it as adults, but it's a lifetime of things that we hold on to, and we got to let that stuff go. But I try to work with my athletes, and I work with others now. It's the Y session. I got one after this podcast, right? I got a Y session with a young lady, and we're going to really get down and dirty into some really dark areas or some sad areas, and just help them understand. So when things get hard, they can remember why they do it, right? Because most of the time, guess what? If you're doing it because you just want to races come and go. But what never changes is who you are, truly at the core. If you dig deep and grab that every time, the rest is history, homie.
I love that. Because I always love to say your strength is in your passion, and you are an epitome of that. And it's so nice to see that side of coaching, because I think that's we're at the end of the day, we're not coaching athletes, we're coaching humans, and humans need that understanding and
bro,
we're giving that group hug right here. That virtual group hug, man.
I said, I can't remember because I'm writing like 2 books at the same time. So I wrote in one of them. It was like, because before anyone is an athlete, their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, their brothers. And if you discount that and think that you can't think about that like some coaches do, you're not going to spark any loyalty or any passion within your athletes. And yeah, they might finish the race. They might, but guess what? There's no reason that they need to stay with you, because you give them something that everybody else can give them. What I think about my athletes, only I can give what I give. Nobody else can do that.
So true. So true.
Yeah.
Now what is on the docket? Because I saw Becoming an Amazing Coach is your book. It's out on Amazon. Is that correct?
It's about to be. By the end of the week, it will be.
Well, then people better go get it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. For sure, man. For sure. Yeah, becoming an amazing coach, right? The hardest part is taking the first step. That's what it comes down to, right? And so it's to inspire people. I was told before, I in the book I'll talk about this, but Bob Babbitt told me, if we want the endurance industry to keep going, we got to keep giving back to it, right? In so many words. And so I was always told, like, if something doesn't exist, then you make it, right? And I know we got a lot of coaches, but I don't think we got a lot of good coaches. And people can be mad or whatever. Like, I'm not a negative person, but it's real life, man. We don't. I've had
we're honest.
5 bad coaches myself, and I've had 2 awesome ones, right? A real good friend, and then another good friend that I have now, my coach I currently have, and I don't want them to have the responsibility to take care of athletes. I just don't. And so what I need to do is you build from the bottom, right? And so you take this book is to like spark those people that have the passion to be coaches, mentors, or whatever it is, the leadership positions, and give them that knowledge. Just starting out. It's just a spark. This book is not to change your life in some dramatic way. It's just to tell you, like, if you're on the fence, you can do this. Like, somebody out there will benefit from your passion. It's like ours, right?
Yeah.
One person. We affect one person. Yep, that's all it is. And so this book has just really hit that and kind of talk about some struggles that I had kind of when I first became a coach, because it kind of like it leaves a bad taste in your mouth if you don't know it's coming. You know, it's like, and so when you start hitting those walls, you're like, man, it's not for me. But if I can give you like a guide to get through the misconceptions of what you think coaching is, or get you through that imposter syndrome where you don't think you know enough, right? Or you don't have, we understand a little bit about some small things you may need to be successful. 148 pages of awesomeness. Just read it. Like, that's what it comes down to, right? And if I can think about it, if we look at it on a small level, if I touch 1 or 2 or 10 people, which I know I will, I'm not gonna. There's no doubt in my mind, because people want this, right? And those 10 people touch 10 people. Those 10 people touch 10 people, and it just trickles. And what we keep saying is, and I keep hearing, is like the endurance industry is not as what it used to be. Well, because we've been taken from it so long, and we need to give back. And that's what we're doing now. That's what Endurance Zone is doing. That's what the book is doing. That's what this podcast is doing. And that's what we are doing as individuals. We're giving back to create and build a better endurance community. That's what it's all about, man.
You know what? I feel like I'm the guest. Because that was the best way that I could ever have concluded this interview, because you said it perfectly. Morgan, it's so exciting to be able to have you on this platform, and then have you have a show to be able to motivate people, because that's what this is about. You said it, positivity, moving forward. Everybody has a why. Let's move together. Morgan, thank you so much for joining us today.
Anytime, brother. I'll come back 1,000,000 times. We can talk about the book extremely the next time. Like, matter of fact, we're just going to just set a date when we get off here.
No, you've already got it. I'll as soon as I sign off, we're signing up. Awesome. Well, thanks,
I appreciate
Morgan.
being here, man.
Appreciate it.
Man.
It's pretty easy to see why I wanted to replay this In the Zone with Fireman Rob that is on Endurance Zone TV with Morgan Latimore. Positivity, influence, inspiration, all those things. Thanks for joining us on Forged in the Fires podcast. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening and supporting the Forged in the Fires podcast with Fireman Rob. Remember, don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast, and please share this episode with a friend or family. To find out more about Fireman Rob or reach out about a question, go to www.firemanrob.com. Until next time, live your life forged in the fires.